The resolution would have demanded an immediate, unconditional and permanent ceasefire to be respected by all the parties, and further reiterated its demand for the immediate and unconditional release of all hostages. It would have demanded immediate access by the civilian population in Gaza to basic services, humanitarian assistance and unhindered humanitarian aid at scale throughout the Gaza Strip, while further demanding that the parties unconditionally implement a US-crafted ceasefire plan which included Palestinian prisoner swaps that was endorsed by the Council in June.
Please raise their hand.
These were some of the views in the Council, starting with the lead author of the draft, Guyana, on behalf of the elected 10, and then the United States explaining its veto, followed by Algeria and China.
The text before us recalls the Security Council's primary responsibility to uphold international peace and security, and demands an immediate, unconditional, and permanent ceasefire to be respected by all parties, and reiterates the Council's demand for the immediate and unconditional release of all hostages. This is one of the most important provisions of the text, since it addresses some of the most fundamental concerns regarding the ongoing hostilities. The text also demands that the parties comply with their obligations under international law, including international humanitarian law.
The United States deeply regrets this Council finds itself here again. The United States worked for weeks in good faith to avoid this outcome. We made clear throughout negotiations we could not support an unconditional ceasefire that failed to release the hostages. Because, as this Council has previously called for, a durable end to the war must come with the release of the hostages. These two urgent goals are inextricably linked. This resolution abandoned that necessity, and for that reason, the United States could not support it. Simply put, this resolution would have sent a dangerous message to Hamas. There's no need to come back to the negotiating table. Hamas would have seen it as a vindication of its cynical strategy to hope and pray the international community forgets about the fate of more than 100 hostages for more than 20 member states who have been held for 410 days.
One member chose to block any action from this Council. Today's message is clear to the Israeli occupying power first. You may continue your genocide. You may continue your collective punishment of the Palestinian people with complete impunity. In this chamber, you enjoy immunity. To the Palestinian people, another clear message. While the overwhelming majority of the world stands in solidarity with your plight, tragically, others remain indifferent to your suffering.
The US long use of the veto has dashed the hope of the people of Gaza for survival, pushing them further into darkness and desperation. I said during the Council's debate on Monday that every moment will be recorded in history and will be judged by history. We cannot imagine how the vote today, as well as the Security Council's failure to respond to the Gaza's conflict over the past 30 months, can escape the harsh judgment of history.
The UN has further warned that armed looting fueled by the breakdown in public order in Gaza had become increasingly organized, while mass casualty incidents and Israeli bombardments continue. Siobhan Riceby's SABC News, New York.